This year continues to be turbulent for Indian students. First, there was the NEET paper leak affecting nearly 23 lakh aspiring doctors. And now there is the CBSE Class 12 board examination controversy. A major reason behind the outrage has been CBSE's introduction of the on-screen marking system, or OSM. Students and teachers reported problems ranging from blurry scans and mismatched answer sheets to teachers struggling with unfamiliar software and pressure to prioritize speed over accuracy. But the controversy deepened further when a class 12 student and ethical hacker, Adhikary, published a blog alleging serious problems in CBSE's OSM website. We are joined by Nisarga, whose blog has intensified scrutiny around CBSE's digitisation push. Welcome to Newslaundry, Nisarga. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right. So first, to start, I want to know, how did your papers go? Did you have to ask to recheck them?
No, I didn't apply for re-evaluation. I was satisfied with whatever I had scored.
All right. Okay, so I went through your blog and you mentioned that you discovered at least 4 vulnerabilities in February itself, right? Can you take us through them so that our audience can understand simply what all vulnerabilities were there in CBSE's website?
So in February 25, I found several vulnerabilities. When I was exploring CBSE's system and how they're working and all, I found several vulnerabilities when I was just digging up, and it was just like a rabbit hole. I found one vulnerability, and that led to another 5 or 6 vulnerabilities, and like that, I found 6 or 7 vulnerabilities on the portal. I immediately documented all of them and reported it to CERT-In. So for viewers who don't know what CERT-In is a government body which handles cyber security threats, and they also respond to emergencies related to cyber attacks and all. I reported to CERT-In. CERT-In reverted back to me saying, how do you CERT-In reverted back to me saying, we need more proof. We need to reproduce it ourselves, send us a recording of POC, proof of concept, which we call in hacking.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent them a proof of concept and step-by-step documentation on how to recreate the vulnerabilities. And after that, they verified my claim and acknowledged and sent me a thank you mail. And 2 or 3 days later, the portal went down. So I thought they were fixing all of them. But to my knowledge, to the best of my knowledge, only one vulnerability was fixed, only the password thing. 5 or 6 which I had reported were gone unnoticed. They noticed it or they didn't bother enough to fix them. So I contacted CBSE, I contacted a vendor, tried to follow up with CERT-In several times. I didn't get any response from anyone. That is very irresponsible on their part. That's fine. So I waited till the results, because if I go public before the results, someone can abuse the vulnerabilities and change their marks or do whatever. So after I went public, the portal is still up and the vulnerabilities are still there. So we can prove that the evaluation took place in a really vulnerable platform portal, and marks could have been tampered due to the negligence of CBSE here.
Right.
So see, after my tweet blew up, I also found another vulnerability, which is allowing me to extract data from the database.
Okay.
I also reported it to CERT-In. They said thank you. After that, portal went down, so I don't know what's happening. And I'm getting a lot of traction on Twitter, a lot of support from people. That's how it's going now.
Right. So we'll come to how CERT-In and CBSE's response has been to your findings. Let's just quickly explain to our audience what these problems were that you found in as simple terms as a layman could understand.
So gonna explain it in a pretty easy way.
Okay.
So suppose you have keys to locks, and suppose you have multiple locks, and the multiple locks open with one single key. This is known as a master key.
Right.
And just like the master key, there is something known as a master password. Using that password, you can access any user's account on that platform. So in CBSE side, there was this kind of, the master password was visible to me in the front-end bundle, which I could abuse to access any examiner's account and take over that account. So this is a pretty scary mistake. And this was pretty, if I had been out there for some time, I'm pretty sure it would have been abused by bad actors.
Right.
I wrote to CERT-In and they fixed it, but other vulnerabilities are still there, like OTP validation. The OTP system was totally broken. And yes,
Sorry to interrupt. So basically, front end for our viewers who don't know is basically when you go to a website, you can look at its code. That's what front end is called, and then that's where the master key or master password was, right? And that now has been fixed. That's what you're saying?
yes.
Right. Now, moving on
But
to
the
yeah.
OTP vulnerabilities are still there. You can
Right.
bypass OTP authentication totally.
Mhm.
You can the forget password mechanism is broken.
Right.
You can reset anyone's password without knowing their old password. In statistical sites, you see that we have this thing called for like you need to enter your old password to get a new password to set a new password. In CBSE side, there was the same thing. You need to enter your old password to set a new password. The twist here it is that the old password was not being sent to the server. I don't know why. It was not hitting the API. So you can enter any gibberish in the old password field and then enter a new password and the user ID, and you can take over that examiner's account.
Right. So, did you try this with a few examples with a few accounts?
I didn't try this, but it was evident from the code I had. I didn't need to write a POC for it because it was right in the code. I sent everything to CERT-In. I tried hijacking an examiner's account with the vulnerabilities I had listed in my initial blog post, and that worked. I have a screen recording of it, and I have posted a censored version of it, hiding the examiner's detail to protect his privacy, and posted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
So that's it. And also there are broken access control vulnerabilities. Like there are APIs which you hit to do an action. Every site has them. It's called APIs. Like
could you explain that in simple terms?
It's called application programming interfaces. Like these are actions. Like suppose if you follow someone on Twitter, it will hit an API called follow, and that will send a request to the database, and you will start following that user. See, in CVs, they had same for markings and all. And 40 out of 40 APIs they had, all are vulnerable to broken access control. Like anyone can use any API if they don't have access to it.
So, like, what could be the consequence of that? Or if there was a malicious
account takeover, tampering, breaking the portal, and so on.
Right. So you mentioned the second point was OTP, that you don't really have to receive the OTP. You can just bypass that, right?
Yeah, you can use your browser. You can use a browser request or browser console to get the OTP because it is being validated in the browser, not in the server side.
So you can bypass that system altogether. The third was that you can don't need
reset
to
password
very easily and take over any account. And the fourth, you mentioned that 40 APIs were all vulnerable. So basically, you can again take over somebody's account, an examiner's account, and tamper with mark sheets.
Yes, there are other vulnerabilities which I had found, and I haven't spoken to in media about this vulnerability. It was found pretty recently.
Okay.
And as a portal is down, I can reveal it because no one can exploit it. It is known as an SQL injection vulnerability. I can inject foreign like gibberish in a request and send it to the CBSE database API, which is hitting the CBSE database.
Okay.
And it will spit me out with information which I'm not supposed to see because it's not like sanitizing the input. I got an examiner's school name, their full name, their phone number, their login token, their password in plain text, and then their bank account details fields were there also, and so on.
So just to reiterate, you said a new vulnerability that you found that you haven't spoken to media about is that you can SQL injection that you can add so that it goes directly to CBSE's website, and then you can get data which you shouldn't be able to get.
Yes, private data from the database directly.
Such as the examiner's password, school, bank account details, all of that.
Yes. Token also. Like there's a long string every site gives you when you log into it to keep track of a session or an account. And with that token, anyone can log into an account without notifying you and act as you. So I found that as well in the data. And there's a poor security practice. You shouldn't be storing tokens like that, and you shouldn't be storing password in plain text like as it is. You should at least hash it or encrypt it before storing it. Every major site, every big site encrypts the password and or has them, but CBSE was not doing it. It was hilarious.
So now coming back to how CBSE and CERT's response has been, they have been replying to your tweets. CBSE has also denied that there has been any breach. So how do you see these denials and these answers?
I have responded to the denials already. So the thing is, they made two statements yesterday. The first statement was deleted by CBSE. In the first statement, they gave a domain which didn't existed and claimed that I hacked that domain. Um, and said that it was their property, it had test data and all and all. But that domain didn't even exist. It was not registered. So a friend of mine bought it yesterday and pointed it to my blog. So anyone clicking on the link given on CBC post was being redirected to my blog. It was hilarious, and they saw the mistake and they deleted the tweet. They posted a new tweet saying that this is the test server, this is not a real thing. So after they made that claim, I came with screenshots saying that how was I able to access broad data if I was not, if it was a test, how was I able to access real data? So the examiner's account I had hijacked to test my findings was a real teacher at a real school in India. We cross-checked it with the school website and checked the faculty directory and saw that the teacher, the physics teacher at that school, we also saw him on LinkedIn, and it's a real person.
Yeah.
Who was tasked with checking physics papers. Was pretty. I don't know what to say.
Right. So CBSE tweeted first. They shared a domain link which you said did not exist. So a friend of yours relinked that to your blog, and then today they tweeted again, but those vulnerabilities still exist.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how difficult would it have been for a malicious actor to exploit this?
It was really easy for a malicious actors to take advantage of this and tamper with the marks and screw the platform.
So CBSE has been moving pretty aggressively towards digital evaluation, digitisation, and also APAR IDs, which I'm sure you know about. Do you think the Indian education system is digitizing too fast or irresponsibly? And secondly, does APAR concern you from a privacy standpoint?
I'm a very I'm a privacy nerd because I know too much about how data is processed and all. I am very conscious of my privacy. I maintain good offset on other platforms. See this. I know what happened with other data breach in the past. I know what happened with other data breaches in the past and how the government handled it. It's pretty disappointing to see. I don't think the government is cares about security compliance that much to move with APAR and all, but they want to force it. I don't know what to say.
You mentioned one vulnerability which was fixed after your report, after your blog. Have you checked maybe today, yesterday, if anything else was fixed?
So they took the whole portal down after my tweet blew up.
Right.
All the portals, there were 7 mirrors.
Right.
And one main, and they took all of them down.
But will that not affect the reevaluation process?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in their mind.
Right. Have any of them contacted you directly, maybe spoken on the phone, written to you on mail, apart from the...
CBSE?
Yeah.
CBSE?
Yes.
I have reached out to CBSE. I have reached out to the vendor via mail. I didn't get any response.
No response. Have they maybe offered you a job to come and fix their problems?
No.
Okay. No. But you can fix them.
Yeah, I can fix them.
In under an hour. That's what you tweeted, I think, somewhere, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so Nisarga, coming to your curiosity-driven findings, where do you draw the ethical line as a researcher? Could you tell me about this process? And also, were you hesitant before publishing your findings?
I was not hesitant. As I'm speaking the truth, and I had reported it to CERT-In before. It was pretty I wasn't scared at all. I have done a lot of extensive security research, which was could have caused way more harm than this before. I have handled most sensitive situations. This was actually piece of cake for me, but as it is this government body, as it is CBSE, I just needed to ensure that there are no loopholes in my research. I took those necessary steps, and to the best of my knowledge, I published my blog, and here are we. It's pretty very, very CBSE is being irresponsible at this point. They should have contacted me directly and worked on fixing the ones. But today, one of the regional head of CBSE said to media that regarding your question about the website being hacked, I completely deny it. I am rejecting this allegation outright because exams are being conducted offline, so there are no questions. This is their statement. The exams are being offline, there is no website in the picture. How can the website be hacked? Like, I can even show you his statement.
Right. But how does that make sense though? Because yes, they were given offline, but they were checked online.
Yeah, he's the regional head of CBSE of CBSE Chandigarh. I think CBSE is from Chandigarh or something. The news is from Chandigarh. He's the regional head of CBSE.
Just a couple more questions before we go. What are your plans in the future now that your 12th is over?
I might work on a startup. Build. I might build an AI, build in public. I might go work with other people.
Lots of possibilities. As like a young 19-year-old person, how do you see the future of youth in this country? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I have worked with a lot of Indian engineers. And I work with some Indian security researchers on a daily basis. Even on the space, a lot of security researchers from my circle have stepped up to help me out. And all of them are Indian. And I think there are a lot of bright minds in our country, but we don't have the proper environment like US, like San Francisco, to nurture them. I hope the government takes step up to help their youth reach digitization. I'm all in for digitization. I'm a tech person myself. I love computers. But I think they should be handled more securely. Their privacy should be taken more seriously because privacy is a person's fundamental right, non-negotiable fundamental right. That's what I see privacy as. Yes.
Right.
That's probably.
All right. Thank you so much, Nisarga.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.